Let's talk about for loop in Python. A for loop can iterate over each item in a list or go through every single character in a string, and it won't stop until it has gone through every character. Writing for loops helps us to reduce repetitiveness in our code, like it follows don't repeat yourself principle. You don't write the same block of code more than once. Like in this video, we will get to know the basics of for loops in the Python programming language using different examples. Now, let's first learn about some basic for loops. I will write the basic syntax of for loop. For item in sequence, execute expression. Now, for starts a for loop, like which you can see here. Let me just come out of it. First starts a for loop, right? Now, next is item. Item is an individual item during each iteration. It gives a temporary arbitrary variable name. Simply we can call it as a variables, right? And then in in separates each item from the others. Now the last is sequence, right? Sequence is what we wanted to iterate over. It can be a list, right? It can be a dictionary. It can be a tuple. All right. Now, this a colon gives the instruction to execute the body of code that follows, and it gives when we just enter here, it just gives an indentation, right? A new line basically, and a level of indentation like it takes a 4 spaces before writing the body of the loop. Otherwise, we get an indentation error. The body with the actions that needed to be taken and repeated. For example, we print something, right? Like maybe we take print function and use it multiple times. So with for loop, we can just put it in a single statement and print number of times. Now let me clean up this code, and I just wanted to say that we have a sequence, a list of stored items where we wanted to run through in case of grocery list. So I'll just take a variable which is called groceries, and I wanted to put the list of items here saying that bananas and butter, right, cheese, and then toothpaste. All right. Now what I wanted to do here is I just wanted to write a for loop. So for I can just use a variable here, right? Like we had discussed in our syntax, grocery. In is a keyword again, and then groceries, right? I just this is groceries is an iterable object. Like it can be a list, it can be a dictionary, or it can be a tuple, or it can be a string as well. Now I just put semicolon for so that like I get a new line by having 4 spaces. Now I just use a print function and enter grocery, which is a variable, right? Now here In is a keyword here. uh, it checks like if an item is included in the sequence or not. When combined with the for keyword, it indicates iterating over every item in the sequence. It does something with every item on the list. In this case, it prints separately each individual item to the console until every item has been iterated over. Alright, now here whatever the grocery we has given here, it's a temporary variable, right? It refers each item. This refers each item in the list. It's an iterator variable that which each successive iteration its value get set to each value in the list, right? Essentially, it's a temporary variable with a temporary value. Now, we could name it whatever we want, such as we can also name it as G, or we can also name it as F, we can also name it as B. It's a temporary variable, all right. But but the name should be unique and not be the same as any other variable in our program. Now, on the first run, let's see what we will get. Like, let us run this code and check the output. Now, we got bananas, butter, cheese, toothpaste. So, let's check how it is happening. Let's debug the program here so that you will understand step by step here. Now, what is happening here? We have assigned initially a list here, right? So let me execute this. Now it goes to the line and say that groceries are having a list with bananas, butter, cheese and toothpaste. Now when I enter this step over, it goes to the next line and says that groceries of grocery, the variable initially will take an item from the list called bananas, and now this time it gets printed, right? Now if you go to the console, you can check that it gets printed with bananas. Now again, if you go to the debugger, again if you enter this, it will print this time butter. You can just check in the console. Let me just check again. Yeah, this time it's butter. You can see it here, right? Again, we go to the debugger and try to execute again. This time we get cheese. Can go to the console. Again, let me just enter here. So this time we got cheese added to the list. Not to the list, but it added as a separate item. Now again, if we go and click the button, we got toothpaste in the next iteration, right? Now we go to the debug, we go to the console, we'll check that. Now we got all this list of items here from step by step. That means initially it just goes, takes bananas and then prints bananas, and then again it go and check what is the next item in groceries, and it will see butter and it prints butter here. Again cheese, it prints cheese, and again it checks with toothpaste and it prints toothpaste. So you can see that it is going in a sequence by looping, right? Well, this is the basic concept of for loop. We'll see some more in the next video. Bye.